Welcome, everybody. John Zager. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's see, 10:47. I don't know what day of the week it is. I don't know. Is it Monday? I really don't know. But it's partly cloudy today. There's no rain in the clouds. It's just a little bit partly cloudy. And a nice summer morning. 78 degrees, and just leaving the gym, and that felt pretty good, having a workout. Got up early this morning, been working since about 6:30, doing some matter, trying to change matter work. Ended up having a great conversation with a guy who came by, and we talked for about an hour, psychology, neuroscience stuff, so that was really good. Enjoyed that. Hopefully be able to talk with him again further. He's got some issues that he's wanting to attend to, so that's all good. This morning's podcast, oh gosh, Crossing the River of Change. Is changing your personality possible? Pretty good topics, huh? That's what I thought so. So they fit into the last couple days that I've been talking. And it has to do with just resistance. Resistance from people. I'm going to tell you, I don't know, one or two stories. So yesterday, the day before, I've known this guy for a year. And he's got some horrendous health issues going on that clearly he has brought on himself through thought and lifestyle and environment and everything on his own. And he just is deteriorating, right? And he's grumpy and angry and ornery and unpleasant, uneducated. He just resists constantly, right? And so somehow I got involved in him on social media as well, and I keep getting involved in his loops of people to where they're cussing and being angry and upset over every little thing in the world. And you know, I didn't understand how I got involved in that loop. There was like 10 people. All his friends, I guess. And I didn't know any of them. And I finally said to one person, you know, just cut me out of the loop. I don't want to be part of that. And this ex-friend of mine, who's sick, cut me out of everything, you know. Just decided that he didn't need interaction with me any longer. And I understand that. It's not upsetting. It's part of his pathology. You know, he knows what I do. He knows my background. He's been resistant to talking about anything important in the past. And he has no interest in crossing the river of change, right? So I'm here behind the rec center, and the police are driving around out in the grass area. I don't know if they're going to get a SWAT team out here or what, but they seem to, I don't know, they might come over and ask me what I'm doing. But, so at any rate, he's not willing to cross the river of change, right? So I'm going to get out of here because he'll interrupt this podcast if he comes over. So we'll just move on along. That's one example, of just not wanting to look at making changes in how you think, act, and feel in order to improve your life. Crossing the river of change, what does that actually mean? What it means is there's a point in time where you come to the realization, right, that things aren't going well. You're sick. You probably got yourself sick, probably through thought alone. And you're going to have to make some changes, probably in your personality, how you think, act, and feel. And in so doing, you're going to have to, we say, cross the river of change. In other words, jump in the river, swim to the other side, and leave your old personality on this side and pick up your new personality on the other side. Pretty simple, huh? But it's scary. It's scary to a lot of people. It's a challenge. It's a frightening challenge to people. They'll stick their foot in the water, or they'll put their toe in the water. You know how people are trying to learn how to swim, and they just do things in little small increments because they're frightened. They're frightened of what could happen. They think the worst could happen. I might drown or something like that. They're just trying to learn. There's people all over right there to rescue them. But in personality changes, changing our belief system, for instance, it's a scary thing. If we've been conditioned for a long, long period of time to act and feel and think a certain way, yeah? And our bodies are accustomed to it. They're addicted to it. They're addicted to the chemical imbalance. The fear that you might be having, the depression you might be having, the anxiety you might be having. There's all kinds of emotions that your body chemistry has been producing for you for a long, long period of time. And your body just doesn't want to give it up. Your body doesn't want to cross the river of change. Understand your body has its own mind, you guys. And it's saying, no, I don't want to do that. Let's do that tomorrow. Let's do that another day. I don't want to do that. And so you got resistance from your body. Your mind and your thought process is all not wanting to be a different person. You've kind of gotten used to and addicted to being sick, being ill, having a disease, having everything being progressive, downhill, not getting any better. You kind of get used to that. That becomes your lifestyle. You got secondary gains from being sick, right? So now somebody says, part of the program, and now, of course, we're talking about our program that we work, part of the neuroscience program is that, you're going to have to change some of those belief systems. You're going to have to change how you think. You're going to have to change how you feel. You're going to have to change your actions, how you act. And so jumping into the river, and you might get out there a little ways, let's say. Maybe you get 10 foot off the bank. Now, just imagine this, you guys. Just imagine this. You get 10 foot off the bank and you kind of look back and it's kind of scary. Well, that's a long way across the river over there. I'm only 10 foot off the bank on this side. I'll just go back where it's not so scary. Yeah? Crossing the river of change. Are you willing to do what's required to become a new person, to become another individual, to have a different personality, to leave your sickness with the old personality? Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to, what's another example? People sometimes say the grass is greener over there. on the other side of the fence. Well, that's scary for people. You know, they want to go over there because they think it might be better, but, you know, they're used to the hardships and the mishaps of being over here on this side. So they don't go. Same difference, right? I'm just saying that there's a point in time. You're in a program, you're not in a program. You're just dealing with life, and life deals you a bunch of not so good things, and you decide, I guess I need to change a couple things. It's kind of frightening. Call it crossing the river of change or not. I don't care what you call it. But the bottom line is that it's a frightening thing to make change. We don't like to change. We don't like to... I don't know if this is a fair statement or not. But as you age a little bit, you kind of set in your ways, right? And you like the way things have been for quite a long time. And all of a sudden, you know, because of the environment or politics or economy or who knows what growth, you know, you're asked to change, reconsider, do something different, act in a different manner. You might be resistant to that. You may not have a big interest in wanting to do that because it's kind of scary. Crossing the river of change. There are certain things you need to do if you've acquired a disease as a result of trauma, disease diagnosis, I don't know. However you brought on your disease. Certainly wasn't genetic, so you brought it on, you know, through your thinking and then through your environment, through misjudging what kind of diet you need, eating the wrong food, you know, blah, 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 blah. You did it. It's your problem. You're responsible. Nobody else. You didn't have a bullseye on your forehead because of genetics. It's impossible. So we need to make change when we get sick. We come to the realization that I need to change some things, crossing the river of change. And it may not be a pleasant thought. I have another person I know. Well, actually, I have several people that I know that are all in this mess. And it's a mess is what it is. You know, their lives are, how would I put it? They think their lives are going well for a period of time. Yes? Maybe that's months or years. And they think their life is going well. And people around them are beginning to think, what's wrong with this person, you know? What's going on with that? Why is that person acting that way? You know, there's people starting to talk. And the person who thinks everything's going well all of a sudden comes to the realization that, oh, there's some people that have concerns about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. I may not be liked as much. I may not be loved as much. I might have some angry people at me based on what I've done. And what do? They sabotage themselves and they go ahead and start, you know, upregulating disease genes. And then they end up with some horrific disease, and of course, in America, that has to do with pharmaceuticals and surgeries and all kinds of catastrophic medical procedures, right? And the person who thought their life was going well decides it's not going well, is being told that indirectly, and then goes through all these disease treatment procedures and stuff, right? Just decides to say the hell with it. I'm just going to be sick. I'm just going to be sick. And that's what they do. They stay sick. They don't want to cross the river of change. They don't want to change aspects of their personality. They don't want to change aspects of their belief system. All of a sudden, it's a lot easier to just be sick. So, the takeaway on this whole thing is that if you're not willing to cross the river of change, become someone you're not, be someone other than the person with the disease, then your disease is going to become progressive. You understand what I mean by that? Disease is progressive. It only gets worse. And it's like a spiral down. It's just one loss after another loss. The example is like for the alcoholic. He might lose his family, might lose finances, money, economy, housing, might end up with police, might end up in the emergency room. It's just a spiral down. So here's my suggestion. Here's my suggestion. If you want to be well and not attract disease any longer, you've got to be willing to make the changes and be someone you're not. Because who you just were wasn't working. There's a lot of incredibly talented people out there. You know, I don't know what Dr. Joe charges now. Is he up to $1,500 for the week? You know, go attend Dr. Joe's week-long progressive workshop or whatever he calls it. You know, fork out the $1,500. Separate yourself from your life, from yourself, from your environment, from your family, from your work, so that you can focus on crossing the river of change and doing the things necessary to be someone you're not and get well and start upregulating all the positive, healthy genes back into your body. That makes sense, everybody? So that's the podcast for today. Again, please send your pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, dollars, whatever you have. Self-supporting, so I need your help. Send it to my PayPal account. In order to get into that, you need my email address, which is jzager@gmail.com. And that'll help me out a whole lot. But, so anyway, God bless everybody. Take care of one another. And I look forward to talking to y'all again real soon. Thanks. See you. Bye.